So I came out here to Heyday Coffee. It's here in the Orange Loop, which is a newly developed, I guess you would say, neighborhood in Atlantic City. They took like a few blocks radius over here by the boardwalk. It's like a newly developed part of Atlantic City they're trying to revitalize. And Heyday Coffee is a nice local coffee shop that I recently discovered. It's probably been open for a few years now. I'm not gonna get a coffee though. I'm going to get matcha. I don't like to drink coffee. I feel like it doesn't agree with my system. It sort of makes me irritable, impatient, I notice. Matcha is like a nice slow release with the caffeine. I don't feel like I peak and then I crash. I feel like it just makes me feel amazing. So I'm gonna get matcha. Then I am going to most likely hold on to it, drive over to Margate, which is 2 towns south of Atlantic City here on Absecon Island. Margate has a juice shop that has all the ingredients that I like for my morning juice. When I wake up, whether it's in the morning or whatever time I wake up, ideally I like to start the day with warm lime water. If I don't have lime, lemon will do, just to flush my system and wake me up gently. After that, ideally I like to drink a green juice. So I think I'm gonna head over to Margate as soon as I pick up this matcha so I can go there, drink my green juice, because I already started off the day with my warm lime water. So I want to follow my ritual. Warm lime water, go get this green juice, and then circle back to the matcha that I'm about to get right now, because I want to get this matcha before Heyday closes. It is probably like 12:10, 12:20 p.m. right now, and they're gonna close at 1. So I definitely wanted to make it here before they close and just have that. Even if I don't drink the matcha immediately, at least I'll have it. And I can show you Heyday Coffee in case you're in Atlantic City and you want to check out a nice local coffee shop cafe situation. I got my matcha. I'm not drinking it yet. Let's head over to Margate, get this green juice, and really get the day started. So I just calculated how long it's gonna take me to get to Margate, and it said 22 minutes. For some reason, I thought it was gonna be like a 10-minute drive. It just feels like a 10-minute drive to me. It's just like right around the corner. So I'm coming into the southernmost stretch of Atlantic City right now, kind of on the border of Ventnor, but I'm not quite in Ventnor yet. I haven't seen the sign. I'm in Ventnor, North Beach, Ventnor City, and I am driving just 1 town south to Margate. And here's some new construction on Ventnor Avenue, Ventnor City. All right, now I have officially crossed over into Margate. I don't know why I thought I would come out here and easily find parking on a Saturday at the very beginning of the summer here at the Jersey Shore. Why did I think I would find parking? So forgive me, Wawa gods, I have to park in this Wawa customers only parking space to get this juice. I got my green juice. Shout out to California Frozen Yogurt. That is what it's called. I think I've been misnaming it all day. But I got my green juice. So I'm gonna drink this so then I can drink my matcha and carry on with my day. What a complicated process. Okay, I hope nobody noticed that I'm using the Wawa parking lot illegally. But it was only like, what, 5 minutes? Whatever. As many times as I have patronized Wawa in my life, not this Wawa because I've actually never been to this Wawa in my life, but Wawa in general, across multiple different states, they owe me this. Please. All right, I got my green juice. I'm so excited. Cheers. Shout out to Wawa for real. Where would I be in my life without Wawa? So I was gonna drive up, and if I found parking in Ventnor, I was gonna get out in Ventnor and walk the boardwalk all the way up to Atlantic City. Or I was gonna drive to Atlantic City, find parking, walk the boardwalk down to Ventnor, because the boardwalk here, the world famous boardwalk that invented all boardwalks, it spans Atlantic City and Ventnor, those two cities. It doesn't come all the way down here to Margate, and it definitely doesn't go all the way down to Longport, which is the southernmost town here on Absecon Island. And that's what this island is called, by the way. It's called Absecon Island. I don't think a lot of people know that. I don't even think a lot of people who I grew up with in Atlantic County know that this is called Absecon Island. There is a city across the bridge from Atlantic City that is called Absecon. So everybody knows Absecon, the city, which is a suburb of Atlantic City, but they don't know that this island is also named Absecon Island. It comes from the native indigenous word absegami. Like my high school that I went to is called Absegami High School, and that word comes from the Lenape indigenous peoples, and it means little water, if I'm not mistaken. Absegami means little water. So Absecon comes from the word absegami. So that's just a little South Jersey Lenape history for you. Anyway, I was gonna drive further up the island, but I was about to drive past this spot, and I noticed that this parking spot is empty. So I'm wondering if I should hop out and just show you a little bit of Margate on foot as I make my way up the island. You know what, I'm just gonna sit here and finish my juice so I can finally drink my matcha that's been sitting here in this car for like 30 minutes at this point. Yeah, Margate is affluent. It's like the farther down you go on Absecon Island, the more affluent it becomes. I mean, Atlantic City has the glitz and the glam of the casinos, and yeah, the casinos. The boardwalk is not really glamorous. I guess it's a little glitzy. It's more kitschy. Like outside of the casinos that are oceanfront on the boardwalk, you have the kitschy, like typical boardwalk shops that you would find on most any boardwalk, or like that type of area in like a seaside town. The ones that sell the t-shirts that have the vulgar phrases, the funnel cake shops, pizza. Now Atlantic City is a little rough around the edges, and it does happen to have a significant black population, but there is a reason why those two go together, and that is something that is a socio-political conversation. You know, if you want to get into white flight, if you want to get into systemic forms of oppression such as redlining, and just all these different reasons why black people in this country have been historically disenfranchised. And really, I don't even care to talk about it anymore. But yeah, Atlantic City it's a little rough, but it's also a lot of fun. It has a lot of history. It's not at its best moment, and probably hasn't been for some while, but you know what? People still flock to it. It's always mentioned in television, film, pop culture references galore. I dare to say Atlantic City is the most notorious, infamous, publicized, mentioned city in all of New Jersey. A lot of the people on those New Jersey Instagram pages, when they're like having little comment wars about which city is this and which city is that, they don't like to give Atlantic City credit. But I don't see a lot of these other places mentioned on TV and in movies and in music. I don't. Every now and then. But I swear I hear Atlantic City mentioned at least like once a week in media. So say what you will about Atlantic City, it's iconic. The Monopoly game, the board game, actually modeled the streets after the streets of Atlantic City, which is, you know, a fun fact. A lot of people do know that, but not everybody knows that. So yeah, Atlantic City, that's where my mother was born and raised. That's where her mother was born and raised. I was actually not born in New Jersey. I was born in Washington, D.C., but I was raised here in Atlantic County. The first place I ever lived in Atlantic County was in Atlantic City, and then we started moving around to different suburbs. Just because I found parking, I figured why not show you a little bit of Margate on foot. And to be honest, I think this is only like my second time in my whole life walking around Margate on foot. Aside from when I used to come here as a kid on field trips to see Lucy the elephant, which for some reason is a popular attraction. And the one thing that Margate is known for, aside from Marvin Gardens, which I think is like a part of the Monopoly game, but also like a real life neighborhood here. So yeah, I used to do that when I was a kid, but aside from that, I never really came over to this specific town. Right now I'm walking toward the beach. There is no boardwalk here. But plenty of nice homes to make up for it. I think if I had money and I chose to live somewhere in Atlantic County, I would probably move to Margate. It has really nice homes, obviously right by the beach. I got an alert when I was filming that said my phone needed to cool down, and then I needed to cool down. I actually feel like I'm starting to get like a slight sunburn. I didn't put on any sunscreen, any SPF. So now that I found parking here in Ventnor, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna start out on the boardwalk in Ventnor and walk as far as I can up toward Atlantic City and try to show you all the world's most iconic boardwalk, if you ask me. From the more suburban beach home part of the boardwalk all the way up to the lively fun and games casino part of the boardwalk, which is the original part. I don't even think they had this part of the boardwalk when it was originally constructed down in Ventnor. I think this was like a later addition. Correct me if I'm wrong. I will fact check myself. If I remember correctly, it started off just as the boardwalk in Atlantic City up here, and then they extended it down here to Ventnor. But yeah, it's really nice. I never really came down this far on the boardwalk growing up. I came for sure last summer and actually walked on the boardwalk and went to the beach here in Ventnor for maybe the first time in my life. Because growing up, I don't know, we would always just go to the beach in Atlantic City. That's where my family was from, Atlantic City. Even though this is just the next town over, we didn't come to Ventnor Beach. I honestly think last summer was my first time actually walking on the boardwalk here and swimming in the water here. I mean, technically it's the same boardwalk and it's the same water, but it is on the map, on paper, it's a different city. So, but yeah, this part of the boardwalk has mostly beach homes. There's no like shops. there's no casinos for sure. Definitely no casinos. Yeah, just beach homes. I don't know if any of these are like year-round residential homes or if they're mostly like vacation rentals and vacation properties for people who just have second homes. I wouldn't know. But they're really nice. So last summer when I came out here, I inadvertently had like the best beach day. The only thing that was missing was my swimming trunks, because honestly I didn't expect to want to get in the water, but it was such a nice day. I went and put my feet in the water and the water was so warm and pleasant. I'd never felt the water so warm here. It felt like the beach water in Miami. But anyway, that day I walked past this home that ended up becoming what I consider my favorite home in this area. It looks so different than all the other beach homes. So this is the house I was talking about. Isn't it so cool? It's the most unique house that I've seen on this boardwalk or on the beach here on the island. So shout out to those people, whoever owns that house. Like, what a cool house. If I had the money, I would definitely buy that and live at that house right here on the boardwalk in Ventnor. I think these condos are really cool too. They just look different than everything else, which I appreciate. I like novelty. So now that we have officially crossed over into Atlantic City on the boardwalk, the homes are still nice. I do notice they're not as extravagant as in Ventnor. There's also starting to be more like condo high-rises, I notice. So we have officially entered casino territory. To my left we have Tropicana, which apparently is the first casino that you will find if you're walking from Ventnor to Atlantic City on the boardwalk. Here it is. Inside of Tropicana you will find the, what do they call it? Is it the, I don't think it's the French Quarter, I think it's the Latin Quarter.
About to ditty that. About to get ditty. About to get ditty down there.
Yeah, I think it's the Latin Quarter. It's some type of like quarter, French Quarter, Latin Quarter, something, where they have, it's like almost Havana inspired inside. I spent many nights inside Tropicana bouncing around. I would say when I was like coming of age in my early 20s or whatever, like Tropicana was one of the places to be. It was fun. There's some fun bars and there's good restaurants and all that. So that was, if you ask me, that was one of the more popular casinos to hang out in. I don't know about lately. I haven't really been casino hopping lately, but I'm sure it's still as popular as ever. Okay, so as you can see, I am definitely in Atlantic City now. The boardwalk has transformed. We got casinos, we got souvenir shops, we got pizza shops, ice cream, funnel cake, all that. I'm annoyed because I have like 15% battery on my phone. I don't know why I didn't think to bring my phone charger. I honestly didn't think I would run out of battery so soon, but I guess I have been recording a lot. This is Resorts. I believe that this was the first ever casino constructed in Atlantic City once gambling was legalized back in the 70s. This is the original casino here, and it's still here. Again, I believe, I'm like 99% sure that's the truth. Excuse me. Correct me if I'm wrong, as always. I'm only in here right now because I have to use the bathroom, so I don't gamble or anything. I'm here at the Steel Pier. This is definitely one of Atlantic City's most iconic attractions. It's been around since like the 20s, 30s, 40s, something like that. And it's still here.